Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to plan week 34 of 2025. So this is August 18th to August 24th. So there was my intro. I'm also live streaming right now. So I have, I think two people hanging out on my live stream. So hi and welcome. But I am going to be posting this plan with me video right after the live stream. So you guys can absolutely watch both. I will put the live stream evergreen link in the cards. So if you want to watch that, you're welcome to. I'm going to use this really cute summer washi from Bloomsicle. This is, and I'm going to show the live too. It's got sunglasses and super fun summery colors, and I haven't used this one yet, and summer is getting towards the end, so I want to make sure that I use it. So I usually put my washi again at 10 o'clock so that I am blocking off that time. So I'm not planning anything after 10 o'clock. I may be out of the house after 10 o'clock on a rare occasion, but I'm not making plans for things after 10. I also usually put my Tombow marker colors at the bottom under the washi. So I have this pink that kind of coordinates here with this pink flower. And that is 817 that I'm using. So for everybody who's watching live, this is the pink that I'm using. And then I have a blue. My Tombows get used so much that I wear off the numbers, so I always have to look them up ahead of time. It is very rare. Occasionally I do have part of a number, but it's very rare. So the blue that I'm going to use, this is 493. It's a little bit brighter than this background blue, but it shows up better on the planner. And then the peach that I'm going to use is 912. It actually looks like a brown from the cap, but it is a very nice kind of deep, rich peach color. So we are going to lay out the week. Now this is going to be a bit unusual this week because I am taking Monday and Tuesday off. My mom and my son are coming into town for a visit, and so I'm gonna visit with them on Monday and Tuesday. I'll be back at work on Wednesday. So my work box is only going to be 3 days long. Yay! Only 3 days of work. I like those weeks. I don't think I've ever really talked about it on here, but I work as an architectural designer. I went back to school in my 40s and learned all about architecture. Got an architectural master's degree, and now I work in an architecture firm. So the first thing I always do on the week is block off my work because I'm not doing anything personal during that time. Or if I am, then I know that I need to alter my work time. I work remotely from home now since we moved, but I do still need to work my hours. So I need to make sure I'm getting in the right number of hours. So if I'm taking a break during the middle of the day um, to maybe have a Zoom call or conversations with people, then I need to make sure that I'm working a little bit longer or getting up a little bit early to do that. So usually I set that work block up, and then I often will start by putting a sticker here in the corner. I'm going to show the live here. Um, usually I usually put a sticker in the corner, but I'm actually going to wait on that for a minute because I do have some things on Monday. Usually Monday's kind of a quiet evening. We're usually at home, and I don't mind if the sticker kind of overlaps Monday evening a little bit. However, uh, this week I'm going to be out to dinner on Monday, so I want to make sure I get that in first. So I think I have two colors left. These two colors, the pink and the peach. I need to pick one color for my car for when I'm out and about and doing things like running errands and stuff like that, and one color for events. That's usually how I do it. So I think my car is yellow, and so my brain thinks this way. I'm going to use the more yellow color, which is this peach color, for the car. And then the pink will be for all of the events. So the peach color for the car, pink for the events. So let's write in. First thing I know is I always have my call with my friend Kim on Wednesdays. So we'll write that in. I usually have date night on Tuesday, but with family in town, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Let's see, we have dinner, and we'll probably get somewhat chatty. So I'm going to give us 2 hours for dinner, longer than I normally would. And I used the wrong color. After all that, all right, I'll add in a yellow. I'm going to do it that way. And actually, I think I'll put in the box. For Keisha, who's online, I am just drawing in my little boxes to write in my events for dinner on Tuesday. And I'm going to also add in a box for dinner on Monday. I totally used my peach color to make these boxes. Was not planning on that. So now I need a third color. I'm going to go with my trusty, and this is for when I need to drive places. So I'm going to go with my trusty 991, which is a yellow, the pale yellow, and it matches my car. So I kind of think of my car every time I see it. I'm going to put a line on top of the other. Line. All right, so here's what I've done for my online. I made some little boxes here. And I am going to add in, I know that I have got some little ice cream stickers somewhere. Where'd they go? Thought about using them the other day, and then I decided to save them. Here we go. So this sticker book is just where I collect all of my miscellaneous stickers. So it's got, any kind of stickers that I have received, either just randomly or the little extras that come with other stickers. And so I have this really cute from the Coffee Monsters Co. Just a little emoji ice cream. We are going to be going out for ice cream after both of these dinners, which is why I have the box at the bottom. So in goes the ice cream sticker for both. I will write in, let's see, we have dinner at Pietro's and dinner at Cyrena's. We're going to do a St. Louis favorite, which is Ted Drew's for ice cream on Tuesday. And then we're going to do our favorite, which is Clementine's for ice cream on Monday. My family growing up loved ice cream. My dad would take me for ice cream every single night. So much so that if one of us was sick or something and we couldn't go for whatever reason for ice cream, or we were out of town, the people at the ice cream shop would think that something was wrong. And they would actually be genuinely concerned about us. It was very strange. I usually put a little arrow that'll say to the restaurant. Or wherever I'm headed on my little car line. And that is really just to block out time so that I know that I'm not scheduling things up against other things if I have to be driving. So I always block in my driving time here ahead of time. I don't necessarily worry about the coming home all the time, but for getting there, I definitely block in that drive. I am also going to put a ribbon up here at the top that lets me know that my mom and son are going to be in town. Do you have to turn your page and your head when you write? I do. My page ends up almost vertical, like opposite, and I have to turn my head when I'm writing. I don't know about it if it's an everybody thing, but in order for me to write nicely, I have to do that. I have another binder that's new. This was the Coffee Monsters Co. She just released this one. It's so cute. With her, I want to say it was the July release. But anyway, I just got it, and I put the stickers that I use every week for setup in this particular binder. So I absolutely love this. And I think because this blue will probably look pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and use up my sticker sheet. I get excited when I finally get to use up a sticker sheet. So this is the end of, or close to the end of this sticker sheet. I still have all these little this week labels. I'll probably move those into this book because I don't really use those all that often. And that way I know that I need to get some more of these stickers. I will cut off the bottom, cut off this bottom part here, and I will put that in my washi graveyard. So I have, in the back of my book, I have what I call the washi graveyard. And it is, you know, any little strips of washi that I don't end up using. Sometimes I put little fruit stickers in here. It just becomes a collage at the end of um, the 6 months or however long the journal is used for. But I also will put in this bottom part of any sticker sheets that I use up, because it helps me know that I'm using my stickers and which stickers I use very frequently. And it helps me know, about how often it takes me to go through those stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out now and stick that in so that I don't forget. Oh, of course, dropped it on the floor. I do have tweezers, but I always forget to get them out until it's too late. So I don't really worry about where I'm sticking these. Oh, my kids are totally confused about the fact that I have to turn it also. And so I always thought it was just me. It's just a quirk that I have. Now they're all grown up and they still, get confused about that. All right, so I have cut that little bottom part off and go back to my week and add this sticker in. And as I say that, I also know I'm not ready to. I need to get a little line up top, and I need to add I have this Stadler, I never know how to say it, gray that I use when I want to emphasize certain lines, but I don't want it to really stand out with a black. And so I use that for lines for the days for my menu planning. I don't really need that to stick out, but I do want it to kind of be defined. And that gray just gives it just a little bit of definition. Almost like using a pencil, and then I can write over it in black and it kind of fades into the background. So I'll usually write a menu plan with this gray pen, and then I will write over it with the black. And I can put in here that we're going to be out on Monday. We're going to be out on Tuesday for dinner. We have a picnic on Friday because it is our last night at the Muni for musical theater. And so that only leaves 4, and we always eat out on Sunday. We eat out when we go grocery shopping. We always go to the restaurant first, fill up so that we're not hungry, and then we go to the grocery store. And okay, that is the first half of the week. Pretty good. I'm gonna double check. I keep everything on a Google Calendar. Hopefully, there we go. Okay. I have a Google Calendar for my long-term events. So as I'm collecting things to do, those always go into my Google Calendar. And then I use that to create my month calendar here. But then I always reference it again while I'm planning, because something may have changed, something may have come up, and if it does, then I'll usually put it into the Google Calendar. But both of those are reminding me that I do have Theater. And this goes till midnight, so I usually make another separate little line down here, just to kind of show that we're going to be in there that whole time. We try and get there at 6, way ahead of time, and picnic. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to St. Louis before, but in the summer, St. Louis has a place called the Muni, and they do Broadway-style musical theater shows, and their shows are outdoors. They just won a Tony for being the longest running outdoor community theater or something. And they brought the Tony on stage at the first show. But it is in Forest Park, which is an area that was created for the World's Fair. And we bought season tickets, and this is our last show. I love musical theater, so I'm going to be sad that we don't get to go all the time anymore. And I'm going to write Muni over here on the side. All right. That is not my favorite look of the way I wrote that, but I'm going to live with it. I'm going to learn to like it. I'm going to reach over here off screen, and I'm going to get out my big chunker book. This is kind of miscellaneous stickers. Again, stickers that I have multiple sheets of, or that I only use occasionally, that don't fit into my Coffee Monster Co. binder. It is a humongous little sticker album, and I'm going to see if I can find, I know I have some Southern Belle Plans stickers. Oh, nope, I have these. These are even better. Look at those. They've got the peaches and the blues, and I think I'm going to be able to find one that can go in my corner here. I am very torn between this super cool Volkswagen Beetle and the lady with the scarf. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the Volkswagen Beetle down at the bottom. There we go. How fun. That is perfect with the sunglasses and everything. And we will put the lady with the scarf right there. Actually, I like the car a little bit better, so I'm going to pull these up, and I'm going to switch and put her scarf on the bottom and the car over the top. I tore the sticker a little bit, but you'll never notice. There we go. Excellent. I love that. All right, let me show you what they. There we go. See, I put the little lady there, and then the Volkswagen Beetle. All right, so I think I don't have anything else going on during the week, and I would love to take you guys out and around St. Louis. So that is a great idea. I am a little terrified of sitting there and filming myself talking to my camera, but I think that is definitely in order here soon. So maybe I'll take you guys with me to the Muni and show you what it's like to do the picnic and the theater a little bit. That would be fun this Friday to kind of have that memory before it's over for the summer. That makes me so sad. I am just going to put a few little finishing touches in here with that. And I do need to look at my work schedule. I don't keep because my work schedule is in flux all the time in terms of meetings and such, I don't keep anything about it in my physical planner until the week of. And then I open up my work calendar on the computer because I'm always doing this at my desk here. So I open up my work calendar and just kind of take a glance. I actually do not have any meetings scheduled this week. I've got a lot going on, but none of it is meeting related. So I don't have to put anything in the work calendar. I'm going to double check and see if there's anything that we plan to attend that I know of here. I have a birthday. My uncle's birthday is on Monday, so I'll go ahead and add that in. And I have these tiny icons from the Coffee Monsters Co. I have a little one for this one for the theater, and then I have this one for birthdays. So I'm going to go ahead and take a theater one. Let's stick that in here. And the birthday one up here. One of my secret goals, I got 2 of these theater sheets, is to actually go to the theater that often so that I can use up all of those stickers. That's going to take me a really, really long time. I probably did not need 2 of those sheets, but it's fun to dream. I do have little day off pillows. So I'm going to go ahead and put one just across here with a little arrow each side. Just to kind of emphasize that I am not working those days. And I usually don't end up planning my weekends ahead unless I have very specific things like tickets or plans or whatever that I know are concrete. I usually kind of play it by ear and then back plan. So, this week I added in the live. We actually did do something yesterday, and I'll add that in. Oh, I did not. I'm looking up at the live here. I did not actually share my sticker stash. I will have to do that at some point. I have been collecting stickers for quite a long time. The majority of my stickers are the Coffee Monster Co. stickers. I have a lot of her stuff, but I do have some other collected stickers around as well. And I'd like to have kind of unusual stickers to mix it up. I do like Southern Belle Plans for stickers. She has a softer look and that kind of more watercolored, softer look to her stickers. And I really enjoy that, especially on weeks like this past week where I wanted to do kind of a softer spread. She has these softer colored stickers. And those are kind of fun. I have no idea, by the way, where I got those, that Volkswagen Beetle and that lady. I think it came in the mail with something. I did not purchase those, and I have no idea where I got them, but I remember thinking at the time, oh, I'll use these at some point, and I stuck them in that book, and then I haven't ever used them really until today. So, those are always fun to add. One last thing I usually do before I finish up is I go to weather.com and I put in what the expected weather is for the next week. So I'll write in that this is Uncle Tom, and it is going to be hot in St. Louis again this week, which I think is pretty normal for St. Louis. This is our first summer here. We're used to being up in the area by Lake Michigan, where it's a little bit cooler. And so this multiple days in a row of 90 degrees is kind of a new thing for us. Usually it'll hit 90, but only for a day or two. I think it's been 90 for a week here. Where are you at? What's the weather like where you're at? Curious. Is it hot like it is here? I feel like most of the country is pretty hot right now. See, I have. We're going to get back into the 80s this week, so that'll be kind of nice. I like hot, but that 90-degree weather makes it really, really hard to want to go out and do things, especially outside things. And I like to get outside, especially on the weekends after I've been cooped up inside working all week. So I'll usually write the high and the low temperature, and then I go back and I look. We're supposed to get rain on Tuesday this week. So I will make a little line under Tuesday. And then if we go back and look at last week, I will usually put the little icons of what really happened weather-wise up at the top. And that way I kind of see if it was correct or not. It's just kind of fun to see if they were right. But also knowing that it's supposed to rain, I might want to consider what kind of activities I'm doing outside. If I have something come up and I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do it. But I think that is my planner for the week. This is kind of where I settle on for the week. I have all of my activities in there. I know I'm going to be doing some things with my family, but I'm not sure with my mom and my son what we'll be doing on Monday and Tuesday. I do think actually I'm taking my son to the Budweiser Brewery on Monday, but that could potentially change. I'm going to kind of see what he wants to do. They have a super cool tour, but if he wants to do something else, then we will do whatever he's interested in doing. So that is my week. Thank you for coming along with me on the journey, and I will see you for another Plan with Me next week.